just like the hellscape of like just bodies everywhere and big craters and just the sense of doom where any at any time without warning you could be killed 5 different ways. Like what fresh hell are they coming up with now? Just 100 yards over there, like just you don't even have to die from enemy action. You could just get sepsis or gangrene or anything just from living in a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Like that's what they were. That's what the trenches were, just holes dug in the ground and filled with water and rats and human waste. And it was just, yeah, it was not good. It was very, very bad.
So then on top of that, trench warfare.
Yeah, that's it. Without mustard gas, trench warfare would have been bad enough.
Yeah. So that it's interesting because I didn't actually realize this until pretty recently that trench warfare didn't begin right away. It was actually like much further.
Yeah, when they realized we can't just stand shoulder to shoulder against machine guns,
yeah.
We should probably dig a hole.
Yeah, so kind of on like the Western Front. Obviously, everyone knows the Western Front, but that wasn't like the beginning of the war, and two, that's where trenches kind of really started, like for realsies on there. Obviously, we had trenches like in the Civil War and stuff like that.
Sure.
But the trench warfare, like the modern,
like as a battle doctrine,
was started by primarily between like Germany and France. And so I know we did like our 1917 review recently. So I always thought it was interesting how in that we talked about how far ahead and advanced Germany was on pretty much everything, but like a good visual on seeing that is just comparing their trenches versus like the British.
Yeah.
And just how like they just had it together so much better. They're deeper and there's like concrete and, sandbags that are 20 feet high. And, there's like more, like the bunkers inside are bigger and stronger, and
And the British and the French are just dig a hole just deep, like dig a long hole, like 300 miles long, just deep enough where you won't get your head shot off, and then put some like plywood on the bottom, and then immediately flood it. Like it's just.
Yeah, I mean, even like they tried to have drainage and things like that, but so easy to collapse.
Yeah, especially. It's hard. Like try digging a man-sized hole in your backyard. I mean, call 311 before you dig. Don't hit a gas line, but like try to do it. Number one, it's really, really hard to do with just hand tools. And number two, watch if you don't get 3 feet down and the sides start caving in. God forbid it rains and then the whole thing just turns into a mud pit. Like there's just no way. And add on to that, your neighbor is just throwing bombs into your yard and just making not even the hole you're in unstable, but like the ground around it, like the shockwave of something hitting the ground and exploding, it like turns the ground into like a liquid for a second. It shouldn't be possible for that to happen. And it did kind of to varying degrees of success, but it was just not good. It was really not good. And the sad thing too, like mid-war when they started drafting people, like the shine had kind of come off of the war for sure. But early in the war, people were like, yeah, this is like the wars like Waterloo and those good old timey battles where we stand shoulder to shoulder for honor and for God and country. And it'll be done by Christmas and all that good stuff. And they get there and it's like the air is poison.
Yeah.
They're shooting fire at us. What are we going to do? What can you do? Dig a hole.
Yeah.
And hang out there for 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, you got to also think too, like so many just things you don't even think about with stuff like that, like let alone just how horrible living conditions are, just being like so close together in the ground like that. But there's no bathrooms.
No.
So you have to go to the bathroom like in your helmet and then fling it out out of the trench. I mean, the disease, rats, there's no way to bury anyone. So if people die in the trenches, then you just have to bury them in the trench.
And then it rains and then the dirt goes away and then people's hands and feet and skulls are just hanging out in the walls of the trench. Like it's a horror show. It's a haunted house and people are shooting at you and the air is freaking poison. All for a couple meters of gain or loss. A couple yards today that we give back up tomorrow. And then 20,000 people died trying to do it. Like the scale of this is, I have some. This is the other thing too, of like, when we talked about the Civil War, we were talking about like 250,000 total casualties, like, and that's like catastrophic. It's horrendous. these armies, like Germany's army was 13 million people. Russia had 12 million. France had 8 million. Austria-Hungary had 8 million. The British had 9 million roughly. The US had 4 million. Like there was like 60 or 70 million total soldiers, like in the bulk of the war. And that's like not, that does vaguely include like the colonial wars and like the Ottoman Empire and like the colonial wars in Africa and the island wars and all that stuff. Like this was a true world war. There was not a place in the world, even in the middle of the ocean, where this war was not affecting you. Yeah, I think, what was the total casualties? Like 40 million total casualties at the end of the war. Like just, it's like you throw those numbers out, but it's crazy.